Told you I'd be back. That's right. One more video up until we hit E3, so I figured I would spend this time talking about what we're going to be expecting when E3 hits. I already know there's been a ton of people who have already covered this. I know there's been a ton of people who have talked about, oh, this is what we're probably going to get, this is what we are getting, this is what we're expecting. This is going to be pretty much just talking about those types of things. So I'll tell you right now, if you don't want to hear the same old thing you probably heard, I'm sure Shadows has talked about, I'm sure the others have talked about, if you've been in any of the streams people have been talking about, then this is probably a good time to just leave this video. I would very much like it if you stayed. Again, welcome to Gear Talks for this fun time talking about E3. Might as well get that out of the way now. But if you don't really want to hear what's going to happen, since it's going to be happening next week, probably before I get the video out talking about what we got, then right now would probably be the time to leave. So, fair warning, let's get into this. Alright, so, a proper introduction now that that's out of the way. Welcome to another Thursday Gear Talks. I'm Cody Booker. Call me whatever you want. Call me Cab. Call me the guy from Broadcast Gaming. Call me Weird Dude who wears the Jimmy John's hat. Anything works. Today, we're talking about the E3 stuff that is going to be coming out next week, pretty much covering Gears 5 news, Gears Tactics news, and Gears Pop news. Because again, the year of Gears, we need to talk about this. Why not? I mean, it's not like we can't wait till the end of the year to get to all this and be so hyped, but, you know, let's stretch this out because I need content to make, and I will not lie, it gets pretty sparse this time of year. So, let's start off talking about what to expect for Gears 5 at E3. Starting off talking about E3. Now, this is going to be a very big year, not only for Gears, but for Microsoft. Because there's a lot of things that are coming out, a lot of news involving Microsoft. I do feel that this year is probably going to be Microsoft's year. Last year, I want to say it might have been Sony's, and 2 years before that was definitely Nintendo. I want to say that Nintendo is going to put up a fight this year, but with the Halo news coming out, Gears, I really do feel like Microsoft has this one in the bank for this year. But getting off track, getting back on track, Gears 5, what we can expect probably coming out is going to be definitely gameplay. There's going to be a gameplay trailer that's going to be out showing pretty much the graphics, what they're going to look like, what the control scheme is probably going to be like. It's definitely going to be campaign gameplay. It's all going to be really campaign focused because that's what they're really pushing with Gears 5 is campaign. Pretty much the story of the past with the Locust, what's up with Mira, the current situation with Kate, all of that. It is definitely a story-driven game. Not saying multiplayer is not going to be a huge role in Gears, but this one is definitely feeling a lot more story-based. We already knew with Gears 4 we were going to get pretty much a new group with the Coalition. They put their hand out with the Ultimate Edition, and we saw it was good. Multiplayer we already knew was a big major focus with 4. They put a lot of work into that. I have no doubt there's going to be a lot of work for the multiplayer in 5, but I do feel that story is going to be a thing. Kind of like with 3, how we had story DLC, I feel like 5 could also have story DLC. With how much of the world is being expanded upon, especially with Hivebusters and all that, I feel that 5 will possibly have story DLC. That's going to be addressed a lot later on. It's not going to be something that's going to be talked about right away during this E3. Now, a season pass is probably going to be talked about or something. A beta for the multiplayer will probably be announced or something like that at least will be. But yeah, that's kind of what is going to be announced. I believe I heard that there's going to be a chapter that's going to be shown, so they're going to play through an entire chapter. I'm guessing it's going to be one of the shorter ones because, again, it's E3, it's a demonstration, and they're not going to just throw out all their guns right there and be like, hey, let's just play the entire game. You can play the entire campaign right now if you want, outside of this conference we have. It ain't going to be like that. It's going to be a quick and easy thing. They're going to show it off, and everyone's going to lose their mind. That is what we can kind of expect with 5 when it comes to that. I don't think I have anything else here. We will probably be getting a new trailer, just an in general trailer, or at least a major cutscene. We're going to get something like that, and that's going to open up the floodgate for so much questions and lore. I can already tell you, I can spend a month probably on that one trailer that's going to come out. In fact, I'll probably have a reaction to the trailer, then I'll probably go into talking about the trailer the next week. After that, breaking out a detail, and probably another detail, making a full week of that one trailer talked about. I don't know, it could end up like that. We also have here, there's going to be new details. Like, new details, not story-wise, but probably, like, software and hardware-wise when it comes to Gears for stuff to do to optimize gaming or something like that with it. New details probably about how their E-League is going to go, something like that. I feel like the E-League is not going to be too heavily looked at this E3 since the month after this, or at least not the next month, but weeks from there, from E3, they're going to be talking about pretty much like, actually, no, not talking about, there's going to be a tournament with Gears 5 and their multiplayer pretty much as a test drive to show what they're going to be doing for E-League. So I feel that we don't really need to worry too much about E-League stuff because we're going to get a lot of that later on when they actually have their tournament. So that's what to expect for Gears 5. Now, going away from there, going to Gears Tactics. We are going to get some news for it, though I feel like it's not going to be anything big. It's probably going to be shown off before they touch on 5. Like, once they get up there and they're talking about everything, it's probably going to be a trailer that's going to start off with Tactics, come out, talk about Tactics, show probably the Gears 5 trailer, whatever they're going to do, and that's going to be the main focus. Gears Tactics is not going to have a big discussion or talking point to it. They're going to be touching on it, but it's not going to be anything major. It's probably going to be, there's going to be news on it, obviously. They're going to talk about it. They're going to be like, oh, Gears Tactic, it's all about 10 years into the Locust War when it's at its heaviest, or I believe it was maybe even 2 years in. I forget when it was, but it's not going to have like Marcus or anybody. In fact, that's probably going to be something talked about either if they show a trailer for it or if they're just going to be vague as they were last year with it. We're probably going to be told about who the villain is maybe a little more. I'm still thinking it's that doctor from the Rise of Rom comics. I think it might be him. If not, they're going to talk about who the heroes are, who are going to be playing as, or if there's going to be a custom gear in it. They're going to talk about that kind of stuff. I'm expecting something like that. Again, they're just going to touch on it. It's not going to be anything major. Yeah, just minor news. Probably talk about the story and what's going to unfold. Like last year, a new enemy you must face against the Locust or something like that. You know how they talk at E3, how it's kind of just straight to the point. Yeah, Tactics isn't going to have much, but we will get more. Probably a release date for them too. There will be a release date also stated for 5, I forgot to say. So expect that for Tactics. Nothing big, but still enough to get us through until it's out. Finally, Gears Pop. So Gears Pop we don't really need to worry about because that's already been slowly being thrown out there. It's nothing big like, oh, Gears Pop, this is the big thing you've been waiting for. Here's the release date. We're going to get a release date. They're going to stay it up there, and it's going to be like, okay, a lot of people have already been playing the soft launch of it. A lot of people have already gotten the Ultimate Gears Pop collection kind of thing that had, like, Mira. I believe it had a Boomer. It had Marcus in it, that kind of stuff. It's not going to be a big thing. It's going to be a little side blurb during the entire E3 conference for Gears. That's going to be, it's like, oh, by the way, Pop is getting released on this date. Now, what I am interested that they might do, and I kind of want to hear what they're going to say about it, is the Pop figurines. Because I feel with how they're pushing it, there's going to be a major touch on for, like, the Pop figurines. Now, I'm not that heavy into Gears Pop. I haven't even played it yet. I'm not one of the people that were lucky enough to already test drive it. But I want to say it'll have something to do with, like, every single Gears Pop that you own can be in the game or something like that. Maybe that's already a thing that's going to happen for it. I don't really know. So I might just be spinning my wheels at this point for people who have already heard this news. But, again, I expect something like that where it's just going to be like, oh, you know, the Pop figures can be imported this way, something. I don't think it would be like scan a barcode or else that'd be dumb because people have already thrown their boxes or something like that. So yeah, it's probably going to just be like, here's what to expect for it. Here's when it's released. There you go. So that's going to be Gears Pop. So that'll pretty much do it for what you're going to get with E3. I'm not making it sound like there's not going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about with Gears. It's just that the main bulk of what they're going to talk about is 5. 5 is their next game in their main title franchise. That is the focus. That's what we're going to get. I am actually very excited for Tactics because it seems right up my alley for what I enjoy. Go watch the Gears Tactics video if you want that I did. I'll leave a link to it even. One of my best videos actually I've done, I think it's the best Gears talk I've done, is actually about Gears Tactics and why I'm excited for it. But for everyone else that wants Gears 5, that's going to be our focus. That's what we're going to be getting the meat out of all of this. So I think for a Gears a Gears demonstration, it's going to be very, very heavy 5, which is extremely good. We should be focusing 5. This isn't like next year is when tactics come out and that'll be the focus. No. This is going to be a very big E3 for, like I said, Microsoft, but mostly Gears is going to be like the main face of it all. And I remember back in the day with E3, Halo was the thing, but now it's Gears. And as a Gears fan, I'm so happy to see we're now sitting on top of the totem, ladies and gentlemen. We've done it. We've mastered the Microsoft world. We are the champions. Sorry, that's just been bubbling up for a while. Anyway, that'll do it for this Gear Talk. Again, this was a shorter one again. Not that I've run out of that much to talk about. I say I have, but I still do have things in the tank. But this should be the focus, E3 right now. I wouldn't be writing notes down and talking about this if this shouldn't be the focus. So, I will see you guys next Thursday. I have no clue what the video will be because E3 will be through and done with the Gear stuff by then. And I am going to be on a crunch to get something out. You guys have a great one. I'm hoping for the greatest. Here's to whatever you get next Thursday. Love you all. Have a great one.